This is his original hood that he gave me when he sold out his farm in Delaware. He had a farm sale, and we were over there, Dad and I, and he gave me his old hood and several other things from the original. This is the original steel hood that he started out with. And hey, out here in the shop, looking at these pistons, you can see the bowl is way bigger on the one that, this good piston that I took out of the ether eater. And it's bigger than this stock 4430 piston. Let's see how much difference the size is in the bowl. So let's see. That one is about 2.380, right around there. Two and 380 thousandths, right around that. Yeah, 2 and 385 thousandths. This one is 2 and 640 thousandths. So what do? We chuck it up in the lathe and machine this one out until it is the same diameter as that. Is that how we get them the same size? No. We are going to CC these pistons with some fluid. And what we need to do is it's not the exact size of the pocket, it is the volume of it. So we will do some lathing, and then we'll check the amount of cc's that the pocket in these pistons holds, and then we'll get them the same volume. Alright, because these pistons and valve reliefs are cut below the level of the top, when I CC them, water will leak out there. So what I do is I just put a piece of masking tape around the whole piston up to that level with the top of the piston, and that makes a little dam for the water, hold the water in. There's going to be some guys that say he don't know what he's doing. You're supposed to take clay or modeling clay or dum-dum and put it around. Yeah, well, okay. Yeah. But anyway, this is the way I do it. It works. There, as you can see, you got that around there. Hold that up, and I will put a little bit of, just a little teeny bit of grease around the top of that to hold the water, make it more watertight. Yeah, you might be asking yourself, why is this bowl bigger than this one? And I will tell you, this bowl, this piston out of the ether eater, like we do when we do all these turbocharged engines, we want to lower the compression ratio. This compression ratio has been lowered down, I don't know, 13.5, 14 to 1 from like 16 to 1 or so. So we open that up, and why do we have to get them exactly the same volume of cc's? Is so the compression ratio will be even across all 6 pistons. So anyway, I just put just a little bit of grease around the outside edge of the piston, and it kind of keeps the water from escaping just a little bit. Alright, then we set your piece of plexiglass on there, press it on there, and you can see how the grease around the edge is going to form a little bit of a dam. Then we take our big syringe. This is how I used to do it. I mean, I got something a little better now, but I'm going to use this. This will hold 60 milliliters. Yep. I'm gonna suck up the water in there. And I make sure there ain't no bubbles in it. And I get the line to right on 60 milliliters. CCs is what I would call it. Yeah, I got the line pretty much on there, and then I put it down here, push it on the hole that I got in there, and then I put the water inside. And that will fill up. I think it's going to hold more than these 60, so I'm going to have to. So we count that as a full 60, and we go get some more water. I didn't need a full one. I just put 40 in it. I'll push in there and see how much that's going to take, and then we'll count how many it held. See it filling it up. And it's going to the outside edges like that. There you go. And what's it sitting on now? It says it's like 18. That actually adds up to a shade over 80 cc's. So, what this one holds. So I got to get the other one holding the same amount. That was 60. I just put about 20 more in here. Not going to take that much. Okay. It took, it only took 6 more. So, stock one holds 66. Just kind of doing a rough demonstration. I'll be more precise when I ain't having to hold the camera with one hand. Anyway. So how are we going to open that up? How are we going to get this the right size? Thought I would just sit there in the evenings with a nail file and a piece of sandpaper. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to put it in the lathe. Got them in the lathe. We use a kind of a rounded cutter, and so it kind of helps shaping up the bottom. And I am going to use this to get roughly the right opening, and then when it gets close, then I'll go start measuring the cc's of it. All right. Let's turn him on. There you go. Okay, after the first 2 cuts, what do we got? What do we take out? Okay, almost 2.45, and we got to go 2.64. Ain't got too much more to go. Okay, it's within a couple thousandths, so let's take them out and measure them, the volume. Right there. Can you see that? I'm going to get another piston. I got plenty of them. Yeah, you can kind of see it there. Little teeny crack right there in the middle. But at least y'all know how we size up the bowls of the piston, decompress the pistons, and get them all the right size anyway. So I'm going to get another piston, but just wanted to show you how it was done back in the old days. We do it very similar now, but I got a little something better than the giant syringe. But anyway. Okay, so I've got another piston machined out, one without a crack and sized up. Now I just got to get them weighing the same, get them balanced, and hopefully this one's heavier and not lighter than this one. Hey, to balance these pistons, I got this old balance beam scale that I made up back when I was pulling buckshot to pro stock to balance pistons on. And although we have something more high tech now, I'm going to balance these old pistons on this just to show you. People might be asking, what did you make them scales out of? Well, I had some galvanized sheet metal made for the trays to hold the piston, and a couple of coat hangers that I'm hanging them by. The round piece at the bottom, the base, was a circle that I had cut out of some old combine rims, because that's what I was running on buckshot. I cut 6 holes out of the centers. It is like 5/8 thick. I used a piece of that for the base, and for the upright had a piece of square tubing like this from left over when we put this shop up, the framework, and stuff I'd had laying around. Oh, and a piece of 1 by 1/4 inch galvanized strap that had holes in it already. So that's what I made it out of. Anyway, it worked. Okay, so your main idea of the thing is you have your light piston. You put your lightest piston over here on this side, and you have 3 indicators up here. You can see it's like sighting a rifle. You got one pointer in the front here, 1 pointer in the back. You got a pointer in the middle, which is attached to the beam that goes back and forth. And when this middle one is exactly lined up in between the 2 pointers that are there, then you know you got it balanced. So what you do is you set your heavier piston over here on this side, and then you watch your indicators. They're pretty close. You watch your indicators and see. As you can see, you got the middle pointer showing on the left, which means that this piston is a little bit heavy yet. We got to remove a little bit of material off of it. We just keep removing material until we get it to where it's exactly lined up, so you can't see any of the pointer in the center. Okay, it's really close, but I'm going to shave a little bit off. For those of you who don't think my scales are any good, I switched to pistons. Put the light one over here, put the heavy one over here, and that's exactly what the pointers are showing. Now that the heavy one's over on the right, so see, told you. You may say, Bill, how you gonna get that one later? What are you gonna do? Fill it with helium? No, we're going to chuck them up in the lathe. And these are kind of balancing pads from the factory. We'll just chuck it up in the lathe and take a little bit off each one, and we'll have it. Alright, you got them chucked up in there. Don't want to take too much off, it's fairly close. sure that's not enough, but we'll check it and see. All right, let's set him on there and see. Okay. Looks pretty darn close. We'll wait till it stops woggling back and forth. You seen how little bit I took off? And that got it right within. Yeah, he's balanced. That just goes to show you how precise these things are. That's how I balanced all the pistons on my Pro stock and on other things I've built. So, like I say, we've got some more high-tech equipment now that we can balance pistons on, but I don't think it'll do any better job than this. I was thinking that the improper tools in the hands of a really talented machinist and mechanic, you can get much better results than the top of the line, cutting edge, best you can buy tools in the hands of somebody that don't know what they're doing. Anyway, not that I put myself in the camp of being a very talented machinist and mechanic. I'm just blessed. Or lucky, one or the other. Looks good. Now that we got them balanced up, we just need some rings, and I gotta get the block cleaned up, and need to do O-rings to go in the bottom of the block for the sleeves to sit in. Then we'll be ready to put them together. Just as a curiosity, let me show you. Look how similar the damage to these two pistons is. There's the one in the old puller, the Spear Deere power that I was restoring earlier. This is the one from the ether eater. It's a 466 piston. There's a 404. It's uncanny that the similarity in the damage of these two pistons. And there wasn't anything wrong with the injector on the old puller. I think it just got that way because the rings were getting tired. They're letting too much compression and exhaust gases come by. So it may have been what happened to this. I don't know. I got to check the injector. We'll see. I'll keep you updated. See you. Every time I paint something, I always have mechanical troubles. I don't know why. If I leave it ugly, I don't seem to have as much mechanical problems. But anyway.